This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
Welcome to the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Today we're in Hanover, New Hampshire for a clash between the host Marauders and the Generals of John Stark, both fighting for a playoff spot. YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. La Valley Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. Raleigh Lakeside Builders, specializing in custom and waterfront homes, shoreline protection, renovations, and full-scale design. Ramontos in Claremont, always fresh, always delicious. Now hosting YCN Sports Talk the first Wednesday of every month. And by Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Collins. This is YCN's Game of the Week coming to you from Hanover, New Hampshire, where tonight the Marauders will host the John Stark Generals. Both teams fighting for their playoff lives. For Hanover, it's a little more important. Win and you're in, lose and you might be staying here for the spring. As I bring in my broadcast partner for tonight's telecast, Andrew Zerhide. And Andrew, right now both these teams on the bottom, looking up, trying to qualify for the NHIAA playoffs. Who do we have to watch tonight? First for the visitors, John Stark, to see if they can pull through.
Yeah, so we're going to be keeping an eye on a number 12, Chase Patterson, and number 30, Parker McQuarrie. Patterson is a guard. He's a senior. He's going to be passing the ball a lot. And McQuarrie is 6'7". He's a center. He's going to be playing a lot down in the paint. The Marauders are going to have to D up on him if they want any chance to win this one.
Yeah, he stands 6'7". For Hanover, they have a few threats on offense as well tonight.
Yeah, they do. We're going to be keeping an eye on senior guard number 2, Martin Paulson, and number 23, senior forward Caleb Putnam. Paulson can shoot the 3-ball, and Putnam is going to be big down low. Really, Putnam and McQuarrie will be battling each other in the paint a lot here tonight.
Hanover won the earlier contest this season down in Ware, New Hampshire, 48-42, so it was a close one. We expect that tonight here in Hanover. Both teams fighting for their playoff lives. We'll find out who comes out on top next here on YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome back to Hanover High School as the Marauders hosting John Stark tonight. Let's send it down to the public address announcer for the starting lineups of tonight's contest.
And now for the starting lineup. From the visiting John Stark Regional High School Generals, starting guard number 11, 62 senior, Kyle Hackman. And guard number 12, number 9, senior, Chase Patterson. Guard forward, John Stark, number 20, 6'4" senior, Troy Lyle. And center for General number 30, 6'7" junior, Parker McQuarrie. And that forward for John Stark, number 42, 6'3" sophomore, Christian Barr. And now for the Marauders of Hanover High School. Starting guard, number 2, 6'4" senior co-captain, Martin Paulson. And guard number 11, 5'11" senior, Alex Rosenthal. Starting guard number 15, 5'11" senior, Charlie Goodrich. And forward for Hanover, number 20, 6'2" senior, Lincoln Adams. And it's number the Marauders, number 25, 6'4" senior, co-captain Mike Stager.
Welcome to Hanover High School. My name is Dave Collins. Andrew Zerhide to my right as we are set to go for the last regular season game for both of these squads, John Stark and Hanover. The Marauders in the white jerseys with maroon letters and numbers. They are going right to left across your computer screen and TV screen tonight. John Stark wins the tap and we are underway. They're in the red and black and white trim jerseys this evening. No score as they get it down low to Christian Barr. 6'3" sophomore getting the start tonight. That's no good, and here comes Hanover the other way. Alex Mosenthal, he'll handle most of the offense He's the point guard, 5'11". As Hanover whips it around to the right-hand side. Lincoln Adam touches it. Now over to the left-hand side, Charles Goodrich, a 5'11 senior. No shot clock here in New Hampshire, so as John Stark backs up into the zone defense, looks like a 1-3-1. Hanover taking their time along the outside. Looking to drive in is Goodrich. He gets stopped there. Ball bobbled by Mosenthal. Gets it back. Triple team. Kicks it out. 3 ball by George Paulson is up and good. First 3 points of the ball game belong to Hanover. That's George Paulson, a 6-foot senior here on senior night in Hanover. The Marauders with the quick lead. John Stark Generals with the basketball right now. This is Chase Patterson, tries to answer with a 3. That's way off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, by Macquarie. Goes up a shot. No good. And here come the Marauders down the other way. Quickly, the pass is blocked as Paulson tried to find in the corner his teammate Goodrich on the right-hand side. Paulson gets it back, though. Now finds Goodrich in the right-hand corner. Moves to the elbow, in the lane, throws up a runner. It's good off the glass. And Hanover out to a 5-0 lead with 6:33 remaining here in the first quarter. Hagman with it over the timeline. Ball bounces away. Another turnover by John Stark. And trying to plead his case is Troy Gamache, the 6-foot senior for John Stark, saying it was tipped. Not the case, and the Marauders end up with the ball once again.
If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch our YCN shows and games anytime on our website at ycnnow.com.
A little bit of pressure by John Stark. Hanover breaks it easily up ahead. Alex Mosenthal with the layup, and that will force the Generals to call timeout. 6:13 remaining here in the first quarter, and it's been all Hanover as they lead John Stark 7-0. You're watching YCN's Game of the Week.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Welcome back to YCN's Game of the Week. It's been all Hanover to start. 7-0. The Marauders lead John Stark with 6:13 remaining here in the first quarter. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Ramontos in Claremont. Always fresh, always delicious. In addition to airing on our 3 TV stations, all YCN games are posted for your viewing anytime. Just log on to ycnnow.com. So after the timeout called by John Stark, that leaves them with 4 for the half. Hanover with all 5. Generals looking for some offense as they are scoreless so far as we're about 2 minutes in. Hanover in a man-to-man defense right now. John Stark looking to move in, and this is Barr with it. Goes up once, goes up twice, throws up the shot, no good, rolls off the side of the rim. But he gets fouled. First whistle for a foul in the ball game, and it will be charged to Lincoln Adam, number 20, the 6'2 senior for Hanover. So at the line here's Christian Barr, a 6'3 sophomore. Generals looking for their first point of the ball game, and that one rolls around and falls through. So the lead is now 7-1 Hanover with 6:01 remaining. Barr with one more at the line. That one no good. And the Marauders collect the rebound quickly up ahead for Hanover. Here's Goodrich with it. In the left-hand corner, falls and stepped on the sideline, fell into the sideline. It's a turnover by the Marauders. Our officials tonight, Blake Coulter and Bob Stansbury from the NHIAA. Final regular season game. Hanover won the first one back on February 16th, 48-46. That was down at John Stark as the ball goes out of bounds, and Hanover will still have it. Hanover needs to win to get into that tournament. John Stark can afford a loss, but always you want to move up to the higher seed as this ball goes off the baseline out of bounds. It was last touched by Barr. He couldn't save it, so another turnover for John Stark. That's their 4th of the ball game so far, and the Marauders collect it. 7-1 Hanover, 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. A little bit of pressure by John Stark in the backcourt. Easily broken by Goodrich. Sails down the lane. Layup is no good, and he traveled with the basketball. Tried to take it coast to coast, Andrew, and he had some room. Just couldn't put up the shot in time, and it's a turnover by Hanover.
Yeah, just couldn't finish. Looked good, though. He was dribbling by a number of defenders, but just with the extra step there, ref's going to call that one every time.
So man-to-man defense once again for Hanover. 5:33 remaining in the first quarter. 7-1 lead for Hanover. John Stark in the front court with it. This is Hagman. Now kicks it back out, and Barr tries to make a move. Good defense switching on and off. Barr will fire a 3. That one's way off the mark, and the rebound collected by Mosenthal for Hanover. Being chased down by Patterson into the front court. Might have dragged his foot. No travel call there. Here's Paulson with it on the right-hand side. Paulson driving in, throws up a shot, counted in the foul. As Paulson took it to the hole on the right-hand side, laid it up and in, and we'll go to the line for the and one, the 6-foot senior for Hanover.
Nice job by Paulson there, going straight to the hoop with the finish, fighting through the contact. He's really a big part of this team.
Foul was called against Parker McQuarrie. His first and the team's first for John Stark, as the free throw is good. And Hanover now with a 10-1 lead over John Stark with 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. Generals need something as the ball is knocked away again. 5th turnover so far for John Stark. Here comes Hanover the other way in transition. Goodrich tried to give it to Paulson. Went off his head, it looked like, and out of bounds, and John Stark will have it.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We'll choose the team member that had the greatest impact.
Off to the right-hand side, the 3-ball rims out for Patterson, and Hanover collects the rebound. Nice pass up ahead. Here's Goodrich, and it's stripped away by Patterson. The last-second ball knocked out of bounds, and they'll say it went off of Hanover. So John Stark will have it. Out of the ball game is Lincoln Adam for Hanover, and checking in the first time tonight is Caleb Putnam, the 6'1 senior. 10-1 Hanover on top, 4:28 remaining here in the first quarter. Another turnover by John Stark, but stepping on the end line is Paulson, so John Stark will still have it. But again, John Stark with sloppy play here. 6 turnovers here in the first quarter alone.
Yeah, just 1 point right now. They need to get the ball down low to McQuarrie, try to get him going.
As we mentioned, McQuarrie, a 6'7 junior. He's the tallest one on the court. He's being double-teamed, though, by Hanover. Spinning in the lane, and that one stripped away. Patterson couldn't get a move on it, but a foul by Hanover. And this will be their second. Call the foul on the floor, so an inbounds pass for John Stark. Adams charged with his first, team's second. Ball knocked away again, picked up by Hanover. Another turnover by John Stark in transition. Here's Putnam down the lane, and he's grabbed and fouled, and will go to the line to shoot 2. You know, that's another thing. Once you turn the ball over, Hanover is quick to get it up into the front court. So not only do you lose possession, you got to race back to get on defense if you're John Stark.
Yeah, you can't sleep on the Marauders. Clearly, they're trying to really increase the tempo of this game.
Putnam at the line, first one off the back iron, no good. Caleb Putnam, a 6'1 senior for Hanover. 4:16 to play, first quarter here in Hanover. The Marauders with a 10-1 lead over John Stark. Hanover needs this win to get into the tournament. Next one is good. So make it a 10-point lead right now. John Stark still looking for their first field goal. They've made 1 foul shot so far. To the right-hand side with it for John Stark is Troy Gamache. And a pass inside, a whistle down low. And Hanover will pick up their 3rd team foul. So another inbounds pass for John Stark. Off it to the right-hand corner. Here's Putnam, and a lob in, and see a 3-second violation called against John Stark. That foul, incidentally, against Hanover went to Graham Penfield, 6'2 senior, his first, and the team's 3rd. John Stark with 2 fouls here in the first quarter. A little bit of 2-1-2 pressure in the backcourt by John Stark, and Hanover break it. They've done so successfully, and they pass it up ahead. Easy layup. That's what happens when you keep too many people in the backcourt on defense. Someone's wide open. That was Putnam for Hanover underneath, lays it up and in. It's 13-1. Marauders on top. A little bit of jostling for position by Putnam, and also Simeone down low for John Stark. Generals still looking for their first field goal. Here's another steal. With it is Putnam. Lays it up, and too strong. Thought he got fouled there by Simeone. The rebound attempt is put up and in. No good, but another foul called. And it's been all Marauders. John Stark does not have an answer, and they look winded right now. You see the big guy for John Stark, McQuarrie, sort of bent over at the waist. Foul was on the floor, so the inbounds pass comes for Hanover. Off to the left-hand side. Here's Paulson for 3, counted in the foul as Patterson tried to get in his face. Paulson got the contact, drained the 3, and will go to the line for the old-fashioned 4-point play.
Wow. I mean, you don't see that very much at any level, but especially not at high school level. But Paulson there knocking down that shot. Nice job by him. And that was a quick release, too. He got the ball and immediately shot. Nice job by Martin Paulson. And
now wholesale changes for John Stark as Mike Smith does not like what he sees. Paulson at the line. Can he make it a 4-point play? He can. 3:23 to go in the first quarter. It's all Hanover, 17-1. And now with the basketball, this is Kyle Hagman, the senior, back in the ball game for the Generals. Down the lane, little floater, way too strong as it's thrown up there by Silva. Rebound is up and in. And with 3:10 to go here in the first quarter, the first field goal for John Stark and makes it a 17-3 lead for Hanover with 3 minutes remaining. Up into the front court, here's Paulson once again. Off to the left-hand side to Putnam. Drives in, gets double-teamed, kicks it back out to Mosenthal. Mosenthal down low, layup, rims around and falls through for Caleb Putnam. Putnam stands 6'1". That's what he's listed as in the program, and he's going up against, before Macquarie. Putnam seems to be the stronger of anybody on the court right now. And a tie-up and a whistle and a pushing foul. So John Stark just cannot find an answer. Change made right now as Noah Gamache, this 5'11 junior, will come in. Hagman goes to the bench for John Stark. Still some pressure in the backcourt for the Generals. Breaking it easily into the front court, the pass to Mosenthal. Now right-hand side, that's Penfield. Now this pass knocked away. Silva tried to steal it for John Stark. He couldn't. Out of bounds. Hanover will still retain possession. And, you know, Andrew, we look at this defense by John Stark, the pressure in the backcourt. You know, it seems like 9 out of 10 times Hanover's broken it easily, and it's led to fast break points.
Yeah, and they're still putting it on. They're going to have to probably change some things up pretty soon. Still just 3 points now, 19 allowed. They've got to change something up.
Now a 2-2-1 zone defense. Crisscross passing right now as Goodrich touches it for Hanover. Down low, Putnam. There he is once again. Layup is good. Caleb Putnam all day long in the lane. 21-3. Hanover on top with 2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. John Stark needs a field goal, literally. Backing it back out for the Generals is Bergeron. Now across the bar between the circles, looking to take Putnam off the dribble maybe. Can he get through? No, gets double teamed. Pass goes down low, right at the foul line to Bergeron, and a reach-in foul against Hanover. So that'll be team foul number 4 against the Marauders. Goes against Mosenthal, his first personal. He'll come out of the ball game, and an inbounds pass for John Stark. Looking for Bergeron, and a whistle, and let's see, foul against Hanover. So here's one area, Andrew, since it'll be the 5th foul against the Marauders, where John Stark might be able to sort of whittle away at this lead. So Lacasse will go to the line. 5 fouls for each team. Got to assume we're going to get to the 1-and-1 pretty soon. First foul shot is up and good for Lacasse. Out of the game is Penfield for Hanover, and Adam checks back in. Hanover 21, John Stark 4, 1:47 remaining in the first quarter here in Hanover. The next foul shot for Lacasse is a whistle, and what are they going to call? Lane violation? I think so. So even though he made it, it does not count. So John Stark stuck on 4, still some pressure in the backcourt, and here comes Hanover again. Goodrich into the front court. It's as easy as that. And now you've got John Stark scrambling on defense, and a negligent foul right there by Barr. And that'll be team foul number 6 against the Generals. So now Hanover gets closer to the 1-and-1 bonus. Inbounds pass for Goodrich. Goodrich back to Paulson. Paulson dribbles through a double team, and he traveled with the basketball. Thought he could draw the contact, but not the case. A turnover by the Marauders, and John Stark will have it.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's nearly 300,000 TV households, now on DirecTV and Dish TV, contact us at info@ycnnow.com for more information.
John Stark spreading it out. Man-to-man defense by the Marauders. It's Paulson. He is guarding Bergeron. Bergeron gets it back, throws up the runner in the lane, no good, tries to grab the rebound, it's knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with John Stark with 1:07 to play in the first quarter. Roach back in, and Paulson out for Hanover. Barr goes out for John Stark. And Lacasse didn't know he was still in the ball game. He was running towards the bench. Some backcourt pressure once again. Hanover breaks it easily. Here's Paulson. Kicks it off to the left-hand side. Some tic-tac-toe passing right here for Hanover. Thinking about the 3 was Adam. Now they swing it around, and Goodrich has it at the top. Over to Roach. Down low, the pass is knocked away. Good defense right there by Gamache to knock it out of bounds. Hanover will still have it with 45.4 left on the first quarter clock. And Nolan Gantrich, the 5'7" sophomore, will trigger the inbounds pass. Gets it back in the right-hand corner. Now trying to dribble away. Kicks it back out. This is Goodrich with it. See if Hanover tries to hold it for the last shot. No shot clock here in New Hampshire. Goodrich dribbles his way to the right-hand side. Now gets it back up top. I think the Marauders, that's what they're going to do. Just try to play keep away with a 21-4 lead. Gantrash kicks it back over to Goodrich. 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Goodrich has to make a move to the basket. Doesn't get the 5-second call. And here's Gantrash with it. Down low, bobbling it, and a whistle and a foul on the floor as Putnam tried to go up with a layup. And they'll call the foul on the floor, but it is the 17th foul against John Stark. So Caleb Putnam will step to the line for Hanover for the 1-and-1 with 4.3 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Hanover with a comfortable 21-4 lead.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by MJ Harrington, jewelers and designers in Newport, New Hampshire. And you can watch any of our local shows anytime at YCNnow.com.
Extended stoppage as Jake Silva is tying his shoe for John Stark. Here's Putnam for the 1-and-1 for Hanover. 7 fouls against John Stark, 5 fouls against Hanover. And that personal was charged to Parker McQuarrie. And Putnam, banks are open late here in Hanover on Friday night as he hit that one off the glass. It's good. He'll get one more. And that one back iron and no good. Bergeron with the rebound for John Stark. Bergeron pushes it himself down the lane. Layup is no good as the buzzer sounds. And that's the way it's been going for the Generals here in Hanover tonight. It has been all Marauders as they've held John Stark to just one field goal through the first 8 minutes. At the end of one period of play here in Hanover, it's the Marauders 22 and the John Stark Generals 4. We'll take a break and be back with second quarter action here from Hanover. Right after this, you're watching YCN's Game of the Week.